And good evening, high school football fans. Welcome to Sam Hatfield's the Heath Bulldogs in a Week 1 non-conference matchup. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Ted Snyder alongside Greg Rhodes for this one. And Greg, we have a good matchup here tonight. This matchup a year ago played up in Heath was a very closely contested contest, 26-21. The Philo Electrics came out as winners in that one, but it took a comeback effort in the second half as they trailed the majority of that game, were able to take the lead late in the fourth quarter and never looked back. So the Electrics are looking for another repeat and get off to another hot start here in 2026.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And do you think you're going to be seeing some major plays from Tristan Jones for Heath this season as well, running that ball?
Yeah, Jones is a returning letterman for the Heath Bulldogs, and
he had a 90-yard kick return for a touchdown last year in this game. 1,155 yards for the season.
Yeah.
Definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, he certainly is. And another player to watch for the Heath Bulldogs is the coach's son, number 0, Joe Ward. He's a 150-pound senior, two-way player that will make an impact in this game, certainly, as the Electrics now take the field here at Sam Hatfield Stadium. And the Electrics, Greg, the storyline coming into tonight is Coach Dirk Lincecum starting his 17th season at the helm here as coach of the Philo Electrics, going for win number 100 tonight, currently sitting with 99 wins. And I know the Electrics want to get that job done tonight, but how do you think this game's going to play out with that on their mind?
I'd tell you what, you've got a little bit of last year still wrangling around both teams. You've got a good matchup. I mean, for sure, you look at everything, you've got to be a 50-50 split down this game.
Yeah, the Electrics this year, I think they want to lean on their big physical offensive line, a lot of experience in that department, and they are going to be with a first-year quarterback, junior Adi Buchanan, taking over the reins for two-year starter Jack Lincecum, who departed due to graduation. So we'll see just how aggressive Coach Lincecum wants to be in his play calling here in Week 1, because he's got the services of one of the best backs in the MVL, Slade Sprankle. I expect to see a heavy dose of him tonight.
And, and once again, Week 1, you have everybody 0-0 at this point, right? You've got the complete a blank slate. So how you're going to lay it out, what's going to happen, and the changes that you're going to take the entire game to set that tone.
Absolutely. And this game did mean a lot a year ago as Philo was able to, we mentioned, come from behind to win that game. And they started their first 5 games last year 4-1, and then it kind of all fell apart in the last 5 weeks. They finished 5-5, snuck in the playoffs, lost Week 1. So I'm sure the Electrics want to get off early here tonight, get in the win column. And for Heath, I looked down at their schedule, Greg, and they have managed to avoid both LCL heavyweights this year. They will not play Licking Valley or Granville. So with the exception of Watkins Memorial, this Electric team may be the best team they're going to face all season long.
Yeah, and the only MVL team they're playing is Philo. Yep. They've got Watkins Memorial, Utica, Newark Catholic is going to be one, a conference game as well. So it's going to be, their season is definitely could look up for them.
And the ball is kicked off to the Electrics. Deep man brings it back to the 25-yard line. And that was Griffin Harper on the return. He's one player to watch specifically on the defensive end. This Electrics team may have the best pair of safeties in the MVL, Rusty Trout and Griffin Harper. Both have a good nose for the football, extremely hard hitters.
And you saw after the tackle there a little bit of football scruffing going on there. I think everybody's energy is up, and it's definitely going to be a high-impact game for sure. They're ready to go.
Yeah. So it will be Adi Buchanan in pistol formation, with Slade Sprankle standing behind him. 3 wide set, 2 on the wide side of the field. Buchanan will take the snap, gives to Sprankle. Sprankle a hole and just tripped up in the hole. He had a lot of room there. But was tripped up, still gained a couple of yards. And Slade Sprankle, he is a senior this year, 5'7", 175 pounds, really keeps his pads low to the ground and runs through a lot of contact.
Without that shoestring tackle right there, he might have been very well downfield.
Yeah, he was one of the players last year I was thoroughly impressed with, excited to get a look at him here Week 1 as well. Shotgun snap is a fake. It's going to be a little wrinkle out to KJ Phillip, and he's going to gain modest yards, close to a first down. We'll see where they mark it. This is really close to a first down. It's going to be about a yard short. Be a 3rd down and short. And I think for the Electrics here tonight, Greg, with a first-year quarterback, I think moving the chains, controlling the ball, keeping the ball out of the hands of the Heath offense is going to be paramount for a victory tonight.
Time management, ground pound, and just move it down. Just grind at them.
And they got some road graders up front, do the Electrics, led by number 76, Christian Long. He's only 6'8", 370 pounds. So
only.
a little pitch to Sprankle, and he's going to gain first down yardage, still fighting. He's going to take it all the way up to the 45-yard line, and just like that, a chain mover for Slade Sprankle, and the Electrics are in business.
And like you said, shoulders low, Pat, and he got 5 extra yards right there just by keeping it down and just digging in.
Yep, much harder to bring down than his frame would suggest at 5'7", 175 pounds. And one thing that impresses me with Sprankle is the way he carries the ball. If you watch, he keeps that football high and tight to his chest. Rarely puts the football on the ground. Buchanan take the snap. The give will be to Sprankle once again, and he finds good yardage up the middle. Give him 5 more. And I think Coach Linscomb will take that all night long. 4 or 5 yard chunks on first down. Bring up a 2nd and 5.5. Call it 6. Heath already making some defensive line substitutions. Conditioning could be a factor here in week 1, as could cramping. We expect to see some water breaks for these two teams. Sprankle tripped up in the backfield. Great pursuit by the Heath Bulldogs. That was number 66, Alex Zarens. And we have a player down, and that is Slade Sprankle. And this is not what you want to see if you're an Electrics fan. Let's hope it's just cramping.
Yeah.
It looks like they're trying to stretch him out, but looks like he's going to try to get up now.
Or the old, the wind knocked out of you. Not, I'm not a doctor from up here, but, that'll take it right out of you for sure.
Yeah, it certainly is. One player never makes a football team, but this is one player Philo cannot afford to lose. Kind of the heart and soul of this offense this year, Sprankle will be. We'll see how aggressive Coach Linscomb, I said, wants to get with his play calling here in week 1, because he does have some outstanding playmakers at wide receiver. Rusty Trout, along with Cole Cash and Carter Crabtree coming in, but I noticed Carter Crabtree was not in uniform tonight. I know he was a key contributor last year, but Cole Cash and Rusty Trout are 2 guys that can really make it happen with the ball in their hands. So we'll keep an eye on those 2 as we get going down the road. I think you're right, Greg. I think he may have just had the wind knocked out of him. He's back to his feet, and
that's key. It's Ohio August heat, right?
Yeah.
And that's, the turf is warmer, and it's the, it's the typical thing. And this is where you hate to be stereotypical and, every year, but your 2-a-days, your heat that you're practicing in for, a month or so before the season starts. And it's just where that training is key. And you still have to stay hydrated and get through it, because that's what matters.
I agree. So Sprankle will take a break. Audie Buchanan will take the snap. Looking, finds an outlet. And that's number 44, Walker Dupler, the big sophomore. He was really impressive on the basketball floor a year ago as a freshman, and already making contributions on the gridiron here.
Yep, 6'2", 215. Yep. He definitely had the reach on him for sure on that play.
Yeah, he's a big athletic kid, plays with a lot of confidence, and just yet another weapon for Coach Linscomb.
And back on line for Heath, Landon Pack at 6', 340 on the line. That's a brick wall.
So Buchanan's going to go under center. Quick snap, going to take it himself. Initially stacked up, but his second effort's going to get him 4 yards and the first down. And that's going to be another Philo Electric first down as Slade Sprankle has re-entered the football game. Electrics fans can breathe easy. And Audie Buchanan, saw him a few times last year. Jack Linscomb missed some time here and there. He was banged up a couple games, and there were some mop-up duties as well. And Buchanan, he held his own last year as a sophomore. So I think he's ready for this opportunity. So Buchanan, take the snap, give to Sprankle. He's got room on the outside. Working all the way down to the 31-yard line of the Bulldogs. And that looks to be like another Electric first down. We'll see where if not, it's about a half-yard shy, Greg. They're saying second down. and less than a yard. We'll see if they go with Buchanan under center again. He has a big frame, does Buchanan, 6'3", 170 pounds.
Definitely with the field vision where you can see everything, and his head is moving a lot. His eyes are moving constantly for sure.
Max Paul runs across the formation, and the blitz is going to get home. They're going to bring Adi Buchanan down in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of 3 yards. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 4 now. Curious play call on 2nd and less than a yard. Maybe tried to catch the Bulldogs napping, try to hit something over the top downfield. But the pass rush got there quickly. I know it's 3rd and 4, but in this type of field position, Coach Linscomb might be thinking 4 downs already. So it would not be surprised if this were a handoff to Sprankle right in between the tackles. Buchanan's in the pistol formation. Bad snap. He's going to follow Sprankle. He's not going to get there, Greg. He's going to be a couple 2.5 to 3 yards shy. 1st down yard. The first big decision of the night will have to be made by Coach Dirk Linscomb. This is kind of that no man's land where you can't kick a field goal, and it's really hard to justify punting the football from this field position. So
you don't want to give up. You don't want to give up any either, and that's where a fundamental mistake in that position does leave you open to what do you do.
So 4th down and 4. 2 backs in the backfield with Buchanan. The give will be to Sprankle. He makes a slight move, and he is gone down the sidelines. Only one man can get him, and he missed the tackle. Slade Sprankle into the end zone for an electric touchdown. 6-0 Electrics just at the 8-minute mark of the first quarter, and that was a brilliant run by Sprankle.
It was. The line did everything they were supposed to do. Everybody did their job right there, and it looked like an easy little jaunt for him into the end zone.
It looked like one defender had an angle.
And just missed.
He did. Sprankle cut back to the inside and made him miss. So now the Electrics see them do this from time to time, show this formation on the extra point attempt. And if they see something they like, they're going to run a 2-point play out of this. If they don't like what they see, they're going to shift the line back into formation and take the kick. So now they're going to shift back. The place kicker for Philo is Cohen Davis, and that's a bad snap. And that's gathered by Adam Phillip.
Took the pass.
And he completed the 2-point attempt. Let's see who caught that ball. It looked like 44. Yes, it was Walker Dupler. That's the sophomore yet again coming up with the big hands play. Wow, from a busted play to a 2-point conversion. And just like that, 8-0, Electrics with the lead.
That's quick thinking, good hands, and good vision in that 12 yards right there that to see and not lose it and end up, losing more points against you on that.
Absolutely.
On that play.
And I love the play calling down the field that way, that time for Coach Dirk Linscomb. Really ground heavy with Sprankle with a couple of screen passes in there to keep the defense honest. And I think that's going to be the recipe tonight unless Heath proves they can stop Slade Sprankle. I think we're going to see him for 20, 25 carries here tonight.
And not to jinx anything, as long as that Philo line does, and they're being very physical, opening up those holes for him, and he's able just to get on through it. And, of course, low center of gravity and just plows right through.
Yeah, that big offensive line from the Electrics we mentioned, anchored by left tackle Christian Long, 6'8", 365 pounds. He is a big boy. Now for the Electrics, they're going to have to go on defense here, Greg, and the Heath Bulldogs pose a little bit of a challenge. They're going to show a lot of formations and be very unpredictable in their play calling. So Coach Linscomb knows that. He's played against Tim Ward and the Heath Bulldogs before. This is Coach Tim Ward's 10th season at the helm of the Heath Bulldogs. So these two coaches very familiar with one another and their playing styles. Good kick deep down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be returned. He's going to bring it back up near the 30-yard line. The ball's on the ground. The Electrics say they have it. Waiting for official indication. And the Heath Bulldogs retain possession. You saw all the electrics pointing one way.
They were.
Yeah.
Heath was like, no, we got this. It's all right. We're good. No, we got it.
When you see that fumble indicator hit the ground from the official, you know it's a live football. So everybody's pointing different directions. Ultimately, the Bulldogs able to pounce back on it. If they would have lost that, Greg, that would have been heartbreaking for the Bulldogs and gave the Electrics outstanding field position. But where we stand now, I think this Philo defense may be the unit that takes them this year to potentially winning a league title, something they haven't done in a long time, but I know they are hungry to do so. They are good up front, and they are good on the back end. There's really not a weakness in this Philo defense. It's going to be a pitch wide, and that's going to be stopped for a 2-yard gain. Flag on the play. Initial sign is holding against Heath. So that's going to back them up on their very first snap. Yeah, this Electric defense, they're big up front in the front four. Their linebackers and defensive backs are very fast and physical. So this defensive unit, I think, is going to be really tough this year.
And it seems like it's been building the last several years. It's just been building and getting better and better and very consistent year after year. I
agree, because a lot of these players out there right now are players that were contributors, if not starters, a year ago. When you talk about Rusty Trout, Cole Cash, Griffin Harper, Christian Long, these guys are all returners, so a lot of experience on the defensive side of the football. This will be a shotgun formation. Running back behind him gets the carry, and that is the aforementioned Tristan Jones. He's probably going to be the workhorse for them tonight, Greg.
And that was good to see them not, let one error, a play before, end up, causing the psychological part play after play, and they, get a play, get it down, get the nerves out, and start, pounding away at them at the Philo defense.
Now they're going to spread the formation wide. 2 receivers on the boundary, 1 on the wide side. It's going to be a drop back. He's looking deep across the middle. Oh, nearly picked off by Philo. That was Griffin Harper who was in the area. And that ball was overthrown through the defense, not just his own receiver. And now the Bulldogs up against it. 3rd and 11 from their own 27-yard line.
And this is the defensive decision not to play him too far off to give him a first down. Don't play him too close to get burnt in the backfield. Yeah. It's very much a chess game.
It's going to be a rollout to his left. Throwing back across his body is the quarterback, Ethan Grice, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. So a 3-and-out to start their first offensive series for the Heath Bulldogs. They're going to have to punt the football right back to the Electrics, where Rusty Trout is waiting deep, along with Griffin Harper.
Number 40, back confirmation for Heath, Montgomery.
And they defensively give a shot into the arm of the offensive Philo right there. A good stop.
Punt is away. It's a good one. Harper's going to let it go. Great bounce for Heath. Gonna roll all the way down to the 23-yard line of the Electrics. That's where Philo will start their second possession. 6.5 remaining here in the first quarter. 8-0 already in favor of the Electrics. Now they get the ball back.
And their second attempts, Philo's offensive second attempts have paid off twice now. Once with the sneak where he ran into traffic, turned around a second attempt, got the first down, and then with the field goal attempt that went with a bad snap that he ended up turning into a 2-point conversion. So offensively, they're definitely not quitting when something doesn't go their way.
Absolutely. This team, the theme in the preseason has just been how hungry and motivated this Philo Electrics team is, and they're showing it here tonight. I saw a little bit of film of them in their scrimmage against Zanesville, and they did. They looked very physical, looked ready to go, and that's what we're seeing so far here in the first half of this first quarter. Shotgun formation, pistol formation rather. Buchanan take the snap, it's fake to Sprankle, and it's a quick hitter. A little slant complete to Max Paul, and he'll take it up to the 30-yard line. It's a nice 6-yard gain on 1st and 10.
It was a good catch. He didn't try to rush anything. He didn't try to get anything crazy afterwards. Just that ground pound, just get those yards, those 5-6 yards every play, and just grind it down the field.
Max Paul, KJ Phillip, the two receivers on the wide side of the field. Pistol formation once again. It's another fake to Sprankle, and it's a screen out to Phillip, but they're going to say he trapped the football. It hit the turf, so incomplete pass from Buchanan. Now it's going to be a 3rd down and 4 for the Electrics. You see all the pass plays he's elected to call have been short, get it out of the quarterback's hands quickly,
and get those 5-6 yards. See if something comes after that, and make a play on that. If not, 5 yards is progression of that 1st down.
Pistol formation once again. It's going to be a give to Sprankle. A little bit of space inside, and he keeps churning, keeps going. Just so hard to bring down. An impressive runner. Takes it all the way up to the 46-yard line. That's going to be yet another 1st down for the Philo Electrics, and this could be the year of the running back, as people are talking about how good the running backs are across the board in the MVL this year, and I couldn't agree more. We're watching one here tonight in Slade Sprankle, but
wrapped up twice by Heath Bulldogs. They just could not bring him down, and he didn't stop or try to stop for that matter.
Pistol formation once again. It's going to be another give to Sprankle, and he gets met in the hole and stood up. That's number 32, Gerald Labicus. He really stood Sprankle up for maybe gained a half yard on that play.
Right there in the middle, met officially, sophomore. They made their acquaintances.
Coach Linscomb continues to shuffle his wide receivers. Now Hayden Harper on the field along with KJ Phillip and Rusty Trout.
Find that formula.
Shotgun formation. He's going to bring Hoffer across the field in motion. They're going to have a penalty here. False start on the Electrics. First flag of the game on Philo. Comes at the 4:30 mark of the 1st quarter. That's going to back them up 5 yards. That's going to make it a 2nd and 14.
Must have been a very subtle movement. I did not see anything right there on the line as we were watching.
Now the Electrics come out in a 4-wide formation. Hunter Hoffer, Rusty Trout, KJ Phillip, and Hunter Hoffer. Slade Sprankle directly behind Buchanan in the pistol formation. The give will be to Sprankle, and he finds 3 yards in between the tackles. And set up a very long 3rd down, 3rd and 11 for Philo. We'll see if Coach Linscomb wants to try another quick pass or potentially pass downfield here. I know Rusty Trout made some really good catches a year ago for this Electric team. Timeout on the field by the Heath Bulldogs. This is a big play for the Heath Bulldogs. If they can get off the field here and remain down just 1 possession, they'll still feel pretty good about themselves. But you get down 2 scores on the road after the 1st quarter, it's a tough hill to climb. Philo did it a year ago at their place, but it's not an enviable position. You don't want to put yourself behind 2 scores week 1, especially on the road.
No, if they can stop them here, get a good punt to their favor, and get that down and get that score, at least closely tied up, definitely don't want to get yourself behind the 8 ball in that position this early.
I mentioned Philo a year ago. Started off really well, 4-1 through their first 5 games, stumbled in the second half of the season, 1-4 in their final 5. Heath Bulldogs were the exact opposite. They came out very cold. They were 1-4 in their first 5 games and then won their last 5, finished the season 6-4. Both these teams lost week 1 in the playoffs a year ago. Philo lost to Circleville. Heath lost to Fairfield Union. So these teams very similar in how they're approaching this season, I have a feeling. both teams really want to get back to the playoffs, but not just get there, win a game. As much success as Coach Lincecum's had here, he hasn't won a playoff game since 2017. It's been a long time coming for the Electrics. Shotgun snap is to Buchanan. He's going to look down the field. He's got a receiver, and he makes the connection with Hunter Hoffer. Tackled inside the 10-yard line is Hoffer. Touchdown-saving tackle by Camden Stevens of the Heath Bulldogs, but that's going to be a huge gainer for the Electrics, and they're in business inside the 10.
That's where we're saying Heath did not want to be in this position right now, but that was a beautiful pass. Everybody once again did their jobs and let that open, and he had 3 steps on him for sure.
A great read by Buchanan. Found the matchup he liked and exploited that. He's going to have 2 backs in the backfield with him. The handoff's going to be to Sprankle. He cuts in the middle and gains a couple, maybe 3. Inside the 5-yard line. Be 2nd and goal for Philo.
3 minutes left in the first as that clock is winding down, just grinding the field, grinding the clock.
Yep. It's going to be a quick snap, give back to Sprankle. He didn't get there. He's inside the 2-yard line, but did not make it to the end zone yet. So 3rd and goal. Likely 4-down position once again for Dirk Lincecum.
And, the longer that Heath defense is staying on the field, wearing them out, wearing them down and just in the first quarter alone, where Philo's defense is well rested up.
Plenty of time on the play clock. Philo quickly to the line of scrimmage. Buchanan barks out the call, takes the snap, and he gets to the up man, and he takes it in, which is Cole Cash. Snuck it in, and Cole Cash right down the middle of the teeth of that whole Bulldog defense, and all of a sudden it's 14-0, Greg. PAT pending for the Electrics.
Cole Cash, money in the bank right there.
Cole Cash made some outstanding defensive plays for Philo a year ago. In the games we called, he was just everywhere defensively. So it's nice to see him be involved here offensively and give him a little taste of the end zone. Let's see if Philo can complete the PAT this time. Bad snap the first time around. Snap is good this time. Kick is up, and it is good. 2 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter to score. Philo Electrics 15, Heath Bulldogs 0. And Electrics, the exact start they wanted.
For sure, keeping the momentum, running it, controlling the ball, controlling the field, and obviously controlling the scoreboard as well. The clock in their favor. Definitely controlling the first quarter.
Yeah, so I mentioned this Philo team has snuck into the playoffs as a 5-win team the last 3 seasons, but have been ousted each year. And I mentioned the last Philo playoff win was in 2017. That's a year they went clear to the regional finals and lost to John Glenn at Zanesville High School in the regional final, and that was a great year for the MVL. And it's hard to believe, with as much success Dirk Lincecum's had, that it's been 9 years since he's won a playoff game. It's hard to believe.
But I tell you, as the program, the last 3 years or so, and this squad has kind of grown from freshmen all the way through. It's definitely showing last year, this year, and even with some of the youngers, the underclassmen, it's definitely showing. And I think that's where the program has to go, and to get that 100th win tonight for the coach, and one step closer to the playoffs at the end of the season.
Cohen Davis will boot this one away. Another good kick, driven down to the 10-yard line. It's going to be returned, and he has some space. Breaks outside, and he's going to be ran out of bounds at the 45-yard line. An outstanding 35-yard return, and that is number 3, Jordan Mokel, for the Heath Bulldogs.
A very fast 5'9", 125 back, just scooting through that. Missed one tackle there. Philo missed one tackle there at the beginning that gave him that opening, and could have taken it to the house.
Yeah,
he was definitely moving and cruising.
So the best field position so far for the Heath Bulldogs. They're going to start at their own 46-yard line. Committed a holding penalty on their very first offensive snap of the game. set them behind the chains, and they were unable to even gain a first down in their first series. You see this electric defense, all 11 guys getting up there within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage, except for the strong safety, Rusty Trout. It's going to be a pitch to the left. A little bit of space out there, and he may go take this one the distance, Greg. He is gone down to the 10-5, touchdown, just like that.
Is that Tristan Jones?
That was number 26, Tristan Jones.
And
you mentioned it, 1,100 plus rushing yards a year ago, and
add 40 more to the first game right now, ish.
And he's, you know, kind of the same stature as Sprankle, 5'9", 165 on the smaller side. But he showed that open field speed once he broke into the second level.
Yep. Took that corner, and they just couldn't get with him.
And that may be the shot in the arm that Heath needed to get some confidence back on their side of the football. But a lot more scoring here in this first quarter than I anticipated. It's going to be a 2-point attempt for Heath. The quarterback's going to try to take it, and then he throws it, and that's going to be complete.
I think to Joe Ward.
That is Joe Ward, the coach's son, and he's expected to play a major role for this team this year. Kind of a do-everything player for them. And now our score, 15-8 in favor of the home team. The Electric's going to get the football back, and what a tale of two different series for Heath. They couldn't get out of their own way on their first series, and the very first snap of the second series is a toss pitch to the left, and he barely got touched before he made it to the end zone.
A beautiful 2-point conversion that we thought quarterback was going to run it in, and tricked me on that one anyway. And with Joe Ward knowing where he was in the end zone, he was watching his feet, knew exactly where he was, and did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, the Heath quarterback, Ethan Grice, is on the smaller side, 155 pounds, so he's definitely more of a running threat than a downfield passing threat, and Philo knows that, so two players were coming to make the play on him as a runner, and he ended up throwing it. So that's going to be something to watch because he's a run-first guy. But if somebody's left wide open, he's certainly capable of hitting a pass downfield.
And that's on both sides, both.
That ball didn't go 10 yards. They're saying it's a loose ball, but that ball never traveled 10 yards. And there comes the penalty flag. That ball was touched by an offensive player at about the 8-yard mark, so that's going to be a dead ball in Philo possession. They tried to sneak an onside kick on them when they weren't paying attention.
That's right.
And Philo a little bit fortunate that ball ricocheted off the leg of a Bulldog prior to reaching that 10-yard mark.
Because they definitely weren't ready for that little bag of trick right there coming out of there just in the first quarter alone. So, yeah, it was definitely a surprise.
So that's going to end up giving the Electrics outstanding field position, though, here to begin their third series. Inside Bulldog territory at the 49-yard line.
But it's good to see Coach Ward take chances and try to shake things up and do that and get back, because if it would have worked, it would have got it. If they could have scored in the first quarter, boom, game's tied up, and we're off to the races in the second quarter. A very good competitive rivalry starting up here.
Yeah, it's a really good week one contest. I like the matchup, and it's kind of pits MVL versus LCL, two quality teams. Adi Buchanan takes a snap, little pitch to Sprankle. A lot of room in there, and he's still on his feet. Finally brought down. He's very close to a first down, however. It's going to be about a yard short, but give him 9 yards on the first down carry.
Yeah, Tyler Marks on Heath did not let him get past him, kept him tied up, did not let him go.
It's going to be a little screen to KJ Phillip, but a trio of Bulldogs out there to stop him in his tracks. He may have lost yardage there, Greg. Looks like he lost about a half yard.
KJ Phillip.
It's going to bring up third and a long one, maybe even two. Yeah, he lost a full yard on that play.
Yeah, Heath was definitely in there on that one, ready to go and watching the ball, making sure they could not convert on that one. At least keep a third down and keep it at least as long as possible for him.
Going to be some changes on the offensive line for the Electrics. Chevy Bailey's going to come out. Fallon Henderson in the game. You see big left tackle, number 76, Christian Long, 370 pounds. And you see number 55, the center. That's Braden Dix. He's 340 pounds. So this Philo offensive front poses a real problem.
Big, strong, and fast on the line.
Great footwork by Sprankle. Cuts it to the outside, able to gain first down yardage. And that was all vision and effort by Slade Sprankle. Saw the pursuit coming, was able to outrun it to the marker. And a big Electric first down right there.
For sure. Very important remaining seconds of the first quarter and keeping the drive alive. And definitely, once again, didn't stop moving, didn't stop trying.
Three wide once again, two to the boundary, one to the wide side. Slade Sprankle in the backfield with Buchanan. Make some adjustments with Sprankle. And the give will be to Sprankle right up the middle. That's going to be a nice gain, maybe 3 yards on first down. Keep the clock moving as that's likely to be the last play of the first quarter. However, we do have a Electric down on the field, so the clock will be stopped momentarily.
A victim of the leg cramp.
That's what it appears, Greg. Very common theme the first couple weeks of the season.
Always.
But we discussed prior to coming on air, as far as August weather goes, we can't complain. It's 80 degrees and the humidity's down, so we'll take this any day of the week.
For sure. We've seen all sorts of August start the season, that's for sure.
Yeah. In years past, I've certainly been in some hot press boxes in August. So while we have a moment, switching gears from football, we've had all this flooding around the area. It's impacted so many school districts and small communities in our area, but none hit harder than Crooksville. And they're playing a home football game tonight. I know that community is probably chomping at the bit just to have some relief from this devastation that's happened over the past week and a half. And
get back to normalcy and take care of that damage.
Our continued thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Perry County, but it wasn't just contained to Perry County. Morgan County, Athens County, Washington County, everyone down in that area of the state got it hard. And in fact, the Morgan Raiders are likely not going to have their football field the entire year. They're playing tonight at the old athletic field. And the Rosecrans Bishops also have to play a road game tonight when they were supposed to open it up at home. So flooding has caused a lot of issues around our area, but not for us here tonight. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter, Greg. Our score after one quarter, Philo Electrics 15, the Heath Bulldogs 8. We'll be right back. Second quarter of action set to begin here from Sam Hatfield Stadium. Thank you once again for joining us here on this MVL football presentation on South 60 Films. I'm Ted Snyder, joined by Greg Rhodes. Philo 1st and 10. Give is to Sprankle, or 2nd and 6 rather. They give is to Sprankle, and he's going to gain a couple yards up to about the 32-yard line of the Bulldogs. in that area again where Philo's likely to be in 4-down territory. See what the result of the 3rd down play is first, but that's probably Dirk Lincecum's mindset on this play call, on the 3rd down play call, is he's expecting, if he doesn't get it, to go for it on 4. So let's see, Coach Lincecum has some words with the official. That's going to be a pass, and that's picked off the deflection. Can't make out the number. It looked like Logan Richardson for the Heath Bulldogs. That ball was deflected, kind of hanging up in the air, and he just snatched it. So our first turnover of the game comes at the 11:18 mark of the 2nd quarter. Philo turns it over to Heath.
And I guess if you have to turn it over, I guess they didn't, they gave him, not the best, field to work on, but, you still don't want to give that ball over like that, especially when you were so close to the end zone.
The Bulldogs take over offensively, trailing by 7. Shotgun snap is DeGrice. He's going to throw a quick screen, and that's going to be quickly bottled up by the Electric defenders. Several Electrics rallied to the football there. You see Cole Cash was one of the players in there. He has a real nose for the football in defense.
Yeah, I think offensively, defensively, playing Ironman football definitely has that field vision you need to have to be successful and not let things get by you.
Absolutely. A lot of two-way players for the Electrics, as you can see. Out there, Cash and Sprankle, along with Long and the other down lineman. Shotgun formation once again for Heath. Grice takes the snap, and it's a pitch to the right. A little bit of space there, but bottled up once again. Great pursuit by Philo. They're going to limit that to about a 1-yard gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 7. That's a tough down and distance for Heath, especially backed up near their own 20-yard line. You can't really get too risky here. You turn the ball back over, you're going to give the momentum right back to Philo.
And close to their end zone. Yeah. Exactly, yes, 100%.
Shotgun formation, we're going to have a whistle. It's going to be a timeout defensively for the Electrics. Dirk Lincecum, I like that timeout. This is a big snap defensively for this Philo team. They just turned the ball over, but if they can get off the field with a 3 and out, it will kind of be a no harm, no foul situation. And I think Philo's going to have to lean on this defense this year if they want to achieve the goals they want to achieve.
Yeah, I think physicality is definitely, they're doing it, but I think they need to stick with it and stay with it because it is going to be very important for their season.
Second quarter score, Barnesville 20, Joplin nothing. Second quarter score, Lincoln Valley 14, Sheridan 0. Newcomer Town 12, Crooksville 0.
Nine minutes, 41 seconds remain prior to halftime, and this game has already ebbed and flowed a couple of different times in each direction where one team feels like they have the upper hand and the other defense creates a turnover or a mistake.
Yeah, and that just, the wind will change.
Yep. Ethan Grice, shotgun formation, and that's going to be a false start against the Bulldogs. That's going to back them up an additional 5 yards. It's going to turn a 3rd and 7 into a 3rd and 12. So they're just making it harder and harder on themselves, are the Bulldogs.
And that's when you talk about the fundamental mistakes or the mistakes you make to just start compiling and just start digging against you, let alone the defense is trying to fight you as well. And, you just dig your hole a little bit deeper. But we saw earlier with the long play from Philo that maybe 3rd and 11 is not a bad thing sometimes.
Yeah. The 3rd and 12 for Heath. Ethan Grice takes the snap, rolls to his left. Looking. He's just going to have to throw this one away. Threw it at the feet of his intended receiver, and that's going to be a 3 and out. So
the Electric defense definitely on point that play as well.
An absolutely great defensive stand by this Electric defense when they needed it the most. And you're going to have games where you sputter offensively from time to time, but one thing you can hang your hat on week in and week out is your defense. If they're consistent and physical, rally to the football and make tackles, which is exactly what this defensive unit does. And it's not a surprise. Dirk Lincecum's a defensive guy by nature. He was a linebacker himself here at Philo and at Ashland University. You're going to get the punt off. It's a low punt. It's going to bounce. Fielded risky by the back there, Griffin Harper.
Just kind of grabbed it against his helmet there for a hot second, and
yeah,
it was like a little sketchy.
That football nearly squirted free.
And I think, offensively both teams are trying to grind each other down, and I think defensively both defenses are definitely fighting everything they have and being very aggressive. And, the physicality, once again, is, key on both teams, for both teams.
Yep.
But I think definitely Philo is definitely edging out on that as of right now in the second quarter.
The Electrics will have the football right at midfield. 9 minutes, 25 seconds remain in the first half. So ideally, I think Coach Lincecum would like to grind away 4, 5, 6 minutes of this second quarter and put some more points on the board. 2 backs in the backfield, 1 receiver, double tight ends for the Electrics. It's going to be a fake. Buchanan rolls out to his right. The pass is complete to Cole Cash. He's got some room, weaves inside. He's finally going to be brought down inside the 25-yard line. That's going to be a 26-yard pass play. Adi Buchanan to Cole Cash. Most of that damage done by Cash himself after the catch.
I was getting ready to ask you a second ago how you thought Adi Buchanan's handling this opening season nerves, but I think he's doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, and I think Coach Lincecum will ease him into the role. He's not completely green. I mentioned a year ago he did see some varsity action due to a couple different scenarios, so not completely green. The give is going to be to Griffin Harper this time, and he can't find any room to operate. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage.
Tackle for Heath, number 97, and Cooper Mason.
Cooper Mason with the tackle for the Bulldogs.
And I think it benefited Adi Buchanan as well, being under Lincecum as well the last few years and seeing, backing him up and seeing that, learning from that, and between, the coach-quarterback relationship as well, and just seeing that very calm nerves.
And the give this time is going to be back to Griffin Harper. Finds a little bit of room to operate this time on second down. Be about a 4-yard gain, maybe 5. Quick breather for Slade Sprankle. Now he's back on the field. Yeah, I agree. Buchanan, really, I think the only thing you lose with Buchanan is, in terms of compared to Jack Lincecum, rather, is Jack Lincecum was such a physical player. He was a running threat. You always had to account for him in the run game, and Buchanan just hasn't shown that part of his game yet. Not to say that won't come in the future. The give this time is going to be to Sprankle, and he just jitterbugs his way through the middle of that defense.
First, second, third attempts kept moving. Yes, definitely made nothing into a few yards.
Yeah, keeps those feet moving. Makes a moving target much tougher to hit. That's going to be a 4th and 1. The Electrics quickly to the line of scrimmage. See if this is another sneak by Buchanan, and it is. And I don't know that he got the surge, Greg. I don't know. From our angle,
it looks really close.
He didn't get an initial surge, but there was a second effort, and we'll see. This is all going to come down to the spot of the football. Likely going to be an official measurement. They are calling for the chains. And you could see initially Buchanan stacked up, but he gave a second effort, and he got a little bit of a surge and only needed about a half a yard. So we don't have the best angle from where we are.
Yeah.
Philo players signaling first down, but that's common. High school level, we're still bringing the physical chains out. You know, the higher levels of the NFL, they have the digital chains now, which is really cool.
Yeah, he is short.
Yes, he is, and the Heath defense rises up and stops a 4th and a half a yard. They are going to take over possession, but it's going to be deep inside their own territory at the 14-yard line.
Not too far from they took over after the interception, and they did not get too far after some incompletes and then a penalty in there as well for false start.
Now the Bulldog offense back onto the field once again. And they really haven't had any opportunity to get in an offensive rhythm. Their touchdown was a long run by their star player, Tristan Jones. And other than that, they haven't been moving the chains consistently. They've kind of been lethargic offensively. Shotgun snap goes to Grice. Ball nearly picked off.
It was, definitely. That was very quick from the
see
quarterback
who that
here.
was. Who somebody arrived at the football, and that was number 15, Adam Phillip. Outstanding play as he timed that perfectly and lodged the football loose. He's starting to open up their play calling a little bit here in the second quarter, Greg. Starting to attempt a lot of passes in the teeth of that Philo defense, which is very dangerous.
It is, and I think, but they're going to have to find something that works for sure, because so far they've really, like you said, the long run that kind of broke out, the pass that broke out with the long run, they've got to find something in there in the bag of tricks.
It's another pitch to Jones, and he's got space, and nobody's going to catch him, Greg. He's in the open field, 30, 20, 10, and that's going to be a touchdown run of 86 yards. Wow. So give Tristan Jones his second touchdown of the night. The first one goes 51 yards. That one goes 84 yards, or 86 yards. So on his 2 touchdown carries alone,
he's on track to
137 yards.
He's on his track to beat the 1155 from last year for sure. Racking up the yards.
And that cannot make Coach Lincecum very happy, as
knowing he's a threat like that for sure.
Yeah, it's just not a whole lot of lane discipline there. The defense got over-aggressive in their pursuit, and Tristan Jones ran right by him. Now the Bulldogs will attempt to tie the game at 15. Expecting a good game, and we got it, Greg. PAT is up, and it is good. We are tied at 15 with 7 minutes remaining prior to halftime. So now it's Philo's turn to answer.
It's 7 minutes into the first quarter. You wondered, is Heath here? And they're here.
Yep. Yeah, you know how that game played out for them last year. They were in control throughout the first half and even into the second half, and Philo's defense stood up and held them scoreless the final quarter and a half, just to give themselves an opportunity to win. And, you know, I know it's a whole new year, but you know that has to be on the mind of the players and coaches of how that played out a year ago, how they kind of let one slip away.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it was definitely brought up in the locker room for sure pregame, and may very well be again halftime. Don't forget the Alamo.
And for the Electrics, you know, you see a lot of good things out there, but then they shoot themselves in the foot like that. Just going to give an 86-yard run up is devastating to your team, especially their confidence. So let's hope that doesn't play with their psyche at all.
Little confusion on the field right there as we do a little dance. They're lined up on the wrong sides.
So Philo did receive the opening kickoff to start this game. So this is a crucial possession for Philo, as they once led this game 15-0. Now it's all tied up at 15. They really need to find their rhythm offensively once again and gain some confidence heading into the locker room. Griffin Harper deep along with Rusty Trout. This will be Trout on the return. Looking for room. He's got some space. Here goes Rusty Trout. Stiff arm past the 50, 40, 30, and knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Just what the doctor ordered, Greg. Big return from Rusty Trout. He's one of the seniors on this team. And, you know, this kid, Rusty Trout, he's a gamer. He has experience in basketball and football, multiple years at the varsity level. This kid is not intimidated in any way, shape, or form.
And when you watched him pick up the ball off the roll there, you saw him kind of stand up, kind of take a few steps, and you watched his eyes lock into where he was going, and he knew exactly where he was going and how it was going to work.
Yes, sir, and that was just what the doctor ordered. That sets the Electrics up. They're going to place the ball at the 16-yard line. Be a pistol formation once again for Philo. Seems to be the preferred formation for Coach Lincecum. It's going to be a give to Sprankle, and he jitterbugs his way once again for a gain of 6 yards down to the 10-yard line.
Down the play by the Bulldogs, number 5, Hudson Shoemate.
It's going to be a 2nd down and 4 from here.
6, 2nd down, 4.
Very nimble, very fast, and definitely with that field vision that Sprankle has for sure.
Snap is to Buchanan once again. A little pitch to the right to Slade Sprankle, and he's going to get the first down. That's going to be a 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line.
Tackled by number 5, Hudson Shoemate.
And now the Electrics are in business. They're going to have 4 cracks at it from inside the 5-yard line if necessary.
That's an Electric first down.
First quarter moved along really quickly, and the second quarter started to drag a little bit. A lot of possession turnovers, a lot of 3-and-outs.
And at this point, do you, as a coach, you make the decision to just keep running it and wait on the clock, run the clock, or try to get in and give your defense, maybe get your offense back on the field again? Well, we're going to go right to the end zone. Never mind.
Yes, sir. Slade Sprankle takes it off left tackle, takes it across the goal line for a 4-yard touchdown, his 2nd of the night. Puts the Electrics back on top, 21-15. Electrics again going to line up in this formation. And they're going to shift back into the traditional PAT.
Cohen Davis to attempt the extra point.
Which we know a traditional could end up being a 2-point conversion.
PAT is up, and it is good from Cohen Davis. That makes the score Philo 22, Heath 15. 5 minutes, 56 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Don't think you can ask for a better opening night football game with these squads.
Not at all. I was expecting a close contest, but I thought it would be more defensive oriented, especially here in the first half. But
lower score, yeah. But
2 big runs from Heath and big special teams play a moment ago from the Electrics. And that's one thing the Electrics are not short on is playmakers. They have several guys who are capable of making plays for them. You can't really just key in on Sprankle. He's the guy they want to carry the load, but you give the other guys a one-on-one opportunity in the open field, they can make it happen. Cohen Davis set to kick the ball off for the Electrics once again. Each of his kickoffs have gone down inside the 10-yard line. Very, very good place kicker for the Electrics. Seems like Philo always ends up with a good place kicker somehow. Over the years, it's just kind of been a theme. What we were waiting on here. And here we go. Cohen Davis going to kick one up to the up man, and that's going to be fielded. Not sure what that was, Greg. Not sure if that was an onside attempt that went awry or.
I wondered if they would try something like that, but it's one of those backup tricks, risky things, and and then once again, we just about watched them get through right there and break one back to the house.
Just, you hate to question such a veteran head coach, but you have to ask yourself, was that necessary with a 7-point lead in the second quarter? I mean, the last thing you want to do is give this team a short field. So undoubtedly, the Bulldogs have found something they like with their star running back, Tristan Powers, and they're running him to the edge and just letting him use his speed and athleticism to outrun the entire defense. So this Philo defense is going to have to be more disciplined, maintain their lane integrity, and play sideline to sideline, not so much downhill. Shotgun snap. It's a little pop pass to the wing back, and he's going to take it for a nice gain of about 7 yards. And that was Tyler Marks, a 6-foot, 160-pound senior. Lined up as a wingback and just took the little pop pass from the quarterback. It's a very popular play in college. It's really low risk because if the player ends up fumbling that ball, it's considered an incomplete pass. So it's a low risk, high reward type of play.
Second down, 4.
Pistol formation. Grice is the quarterback and fakes it to Jones and passes it out to the edge. And trying to fight for first down yards, but I don't think he got it, Greg. He's going to be a little bit short.
Yeah.
Great individual tackle out there. I can't make out. Griffin Harper was the player who made the tackle out on the boundary. So,
and playing that, sideline to sideline, making sure they're not going to try to get past you.
Yeah,
very important third down right now.
One thing the Heath Bulldogs are known for is using the entire field. They will spread you sideline to sideline if they feel like they have a speed advantage.
And in Tristan Jones, they definitely do have that advantage for sure.
So an old school wishbone formation here, Greg. Said they show a lot of formations, and they are. Football's on the ground, and the Electrics have recovered it. That's Cole Cash on the recovery.
He bobbled that right after the handoff and lost control as he was getting tackled.
Yep, look, there were several hands in there trying to strip at the football as he was fighting for extra yardage. I think he had the necessary yardage, but he refused to go down, and the football was popped loose. Great effort from Philo. Once again, Cole Cash, Johnny on the spot. And I don't think that's a coincidence how you always end up around the football on defense. It's just you know where to be.
Yeah.
And Cole Cash, a year ago, he was just so impressive on the defensive side of the ball. Starting this year the same way.
And so maybe the onside kick was all a big plan, knew what was going to happen in the first place.
So first down and 10 now for the Electrics. Prime opportunity. 5 minutes to play before halftime. Buchanan will drop back. He's looking, being chased by the pass rush. He's just going to eat this one. Takes a hard hit, but he's able to gain a couple yards in the process.
The most he's ran tonight, and definitely the most physical he's taken tonight for sure. But he's back out, no problem.
And that's a 2-yard gain I think Coach Lincecum will live with because Buchanan made the right decision. He ate the football. He didn't try to force it into coverage downfield and commit a turnover.
Yep.
Live to play another down. They're actually going to give him 3 yards on that play, so 2nd and 7 for the Electrics.
Offsides on Heath.
Yeah, they're going to get the right end. That's number 9, Corton Pyle.
Defensive line, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
A little help for the Philo offense.
Yeah.
A little assistance.
He's got in the neutral zone, caught in the neutral zone, so that turns a 2nd and 7 into a 2nd and 2.
And that's that aggressive, antsy, both lines, and they're ready to go. And they're definitely physical, and he was ready to go. Just not his time yet.
Shotgun formation, Sprankle on his right hip. He gives to Sprankle. He tries to find some space, and he does somehow or another. He was bottled up behind the line of scrimmage and managed to gain 3 yards.
At second attempt.
Move the chains for the Electrics once again. Clock under 5 minutes here in the second quarter. Electrics quickly back to the line, but they're going to hold off now and look to Coach Lincecum. They often do that, get to the line quickly, and often look to the coach for instructions from there. Pistol formation. Audie Buchanan hands it off to Sprankle. Great move again by Sprankle and just barrels through a Heath defender. He sidestepped one defender and then ran straight through the chest of a second. It's just,
you know, as low and as fast and his feet, like it's a very, to compare him to an NFL player, very Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
Like just very, like he knows first, second, third options that he has. It seems like he knows where he's going to go. If this fails, I know where I'm going to be.
I could not agree more. And Audie Buchanan gets another offside penalty, induces
Tyler Marks.
Induces that encroachment with the hard count. So the one big question mark I had coming in was how would Buchanan respond to his first ever career start as the man here as the electric signal caller. And I got to tell you, he's looked good out there. Looked very poised, under control.
And I think the deeper we get into this game, it seems like the more he's kind of owning it, taking it, and taking control of it.
Kind of see him gaining confidence with every snap.
Yep.
Be a tight pistol formation. Sprankle right on his hip, and the give is to Sprankle. Initially bottled up, but fighting for 3 extra yards was Sprankle, refusing to go down. He was hit at the 2-yard mark and ended up gaining 5 of the play.
Just digs in and goes, just a bulldozer.
And the Electrics really chewing through this final few minutes of the second quarter clock. 3 minutes, 10 seconds to play, and here in the second quarter, 2nd down and 5 for the Electrics on the 35-yard line of the Heath Bulldogs.
Philo trying to get him to jump off again.
Buchanan will take the snap. He'll run this one himself. A little bit of indecisiveness, but he's still going to gain 1, maybe 2. We'll see where they spot it. It's going to keep the clock moving. It's going to be positive yardage.
Yep. Keep Heath on their toes, like what's going to happen.
Sets up a 3rd down and a long 3 for the Philo Electrics. 3 receiver set once again. They prefer to have the single receiver to the wide side of the field. Haven't been able to exploit that one-on-one matchup as of yet, but it's there. You know, the safety's playing on the boundary side of the field where the 2 receivers are for the Philo Electrics. So you get true one-on-one coverage on the top of the field. A timeout on the field by Coach Lincecum.
On the single receiver, they looked like Tyler Hayden was like just itching to go. And
he's got an awful lot of space to operate out there.
For sure, especially with that safety being so far on this side of the field, for sure. He had a big open pasture to run.
And I'm sure Heath has prepared for Philo accordingly, and their goal number 1's probably stopping number 2. So Audie Buchanan, probably his downfield throwing probably wasn't a priority for them coming into this game. So all it takes is 1 downfield completion to change that mindset.
100%. And so far we've seen this game, you just don't know what you're going to get out of that for sure.
And we mentioned Heath, you know, their schedule kind of worked out in their favor this year as they duck a couple of the heavyweights in their league, Licking Valley and Granville. The opposite's true for Philo. After tonight, 3 of their next 4 games are going to be against New Lex, Tri-Valley, and West Muskingum. So Philo, the first 5 weeks is really going to tell the tale for them and exactly where they are as a benchmark team.
Yeah, and the MVL games for sure aren't any joke as well when it comes to that. For sure, especially with Tri-Valley, you know, you just, you know, at Tri-Valley and being a rival game as well. I mean, it's definitely, you know, they want to leave out of this with momentum going into those games.
With the SUV parked next to the ambulance in concession stand end zone, would you please turn off your headlights? SUV sitting near the concession stand by the ambulance. Please turn off your headlights.
How would you compare with the LCL versus the MVL when it comes to the conferences?
Well, the LCL is such a different type of league because they have schools as big as Division II and as small as Division VII. So it's a wide range of teams. You go from Watkins Memorial and Licking Heights, so the big schools, all the way down to Newark Catholic as a Division VII team, and everything in between. Johnstown, I think, is a Division V team, and then you have the 3s and 4s in Granville, Licking Valley, Heath. So it's really, but it's a lot like the MVL in terms of they all know each other extremely well. And so anybody can beat anybody on any given night.
For sure. And you look at Newark Catholic being a smaller school, but they're very athletic, very strong, very aggressive.
Two backs in the backfield with Buchanan. He's going to give it to Sprankle. Cuts to the right. Completely makes a man whiff. And that tackler
swing and a miss.
He had a beeline on Sprankle and completely whiffed. He hit nothing but air as he went for the tackle. Sprankle gained another additional 8 yards in the process, moved the chains once again for the Electrics. 1st and 10, Philo at the 26-yard line.
It's almost defensively like you need to think 3 steps ahead of Cole, just as the fact of where he's going to go, where he knows he's going to go. You need to be ahead of him.
And they're going to say Slade Sprankle fumbled the football in that melee, in that scrum we saw. We couldn't see it, but
no.
The officials are going to say the ball came loose and Heath recovers the football. That's a backbreaker, Greg.
1:37 left, a turnover at about the 27-yard line, and once again, this seems to be the danger zone we've had for the last few drives. This has been the war zone right here.
Philo has turned the ball over twice inside the Bulldog 25-yard line, and they're still winning this game by 7. So if Philo ends up losing this game, Dirk Lincecum is going to be beside himself at the way this happened. But still a lot of football to play.
Still a lot of football.
Philo really needs to dig in here defensively. Their defense is once again going to be called on them to bail them out. And this unit's been up to the task with the exception of 2 plays in this game.
Yes.
With the exception of 2 plays, this defense has been outstanding tonight. 4 wide formation for Heath. Shotgun snap to Grice, fakes the handoff to Jones, and he's going to run this himself. A very capable runner, but quickly ran out of bounds by K.J. Phillip.
Stops the clock at 1:30 left before the half.
I know they have him listed now as Kaimani Phillip, but I know him as KJ. He's been KJ on the roster for the last 2 years, so I'm sorry. I have a habit of calling him KJ. Bulldogs quickly back to the line. Now they're going to slow the pace down. It's going to be another 4 wide formation. Tristan Jones, the lone setback, with Grice in the backfield. It's going to be a toss to the right to Jones once again. This time the Electrics there in defense. First player on the scene, Cole Cash. Surprise, surprise.
Grabbed the legs, kept onto the legs, so he can't run. That's what you have to do. Very fundamental and basic, but he's very dangerous, very fast, especially to get around that curve, and he's just gone.
3rd down and 5 for Heath. Electrics do have 1 timeout left in the bag. If they stop the Bulldogs here on 3rd down, it'll be interesting to see if Coach Lincecum's happy with a 7-point lead or he takes that timeout and gets a little more on the aggressive side. First things first, 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs. Grice rolls out to his right, throws it. They're going to say he completed that pass. Looked like, whoo.
Wow.
It's a long way from where we are. It looked like his feet were off the ground.
But if they were on the ground, that was a beautiful catch.
We have to keep in mind in high school football, you only need 1 foot, not 2. Just 1 foot inbounds with possession. It's considered a catch. That's going to be a quick timeout by Heath. They had 2 remaining prior to that, so now each team 1 timeout remaining in the final 37 seconds here in the first half. Very competitive so far, Greg. What stands out? Anything to you what you expected?
Well, it is. I thought it'd be a lower score, but the unpredictability part of all of it is definitely there. And seeing, Jones carry the ball twice and just take it to the house with ease.
Yeah.
We knew he's a threat. We know Cole Sprankle's a threat. But it's definitely their defenses have fought and impressed me too. And definitely, there's been offensively a couple boo-boos, but, they're definitely – for what was 15-0 in the first quarter, now we're 22-15, and it's a great football game for sure.
Sure is. We're getting to see a couple of really good running backs. Slade Sprankle for Philo, Tristan Jones for Heath. Two completely different styles. As we've seen Jones's two big runs, he runs with it's almost effortless the way he runs. It doesn't even look like he's running that hard, but he's creating distance in between the defenders as he goes. So.
And Cole Sprankle is just 3 steps ahead of everybody. Like, he's just on his third chance before he ever gets touched, it seems. He
has great footwork laterally and deceptive power. He really lowers the pads and brings the boom to the defender.
And you see that when he's on the defensive side as well. You can watch that. And that's that Iron Man football there that, he has that field vision and knows what's happening and where to be.
So 5'9" senior Hunter Hoffer injured on the play as he's going to walk off under his own power. So the Bulldogs did call a timeout there, but they were aided by that electric injury, so that was kind of an extended timeout there. They had a long opportunity to discuss what they want to do here in the final 37 seconds.
Especially gives you an opportunity to go ahead and get into that, that 2-minute drill to where, hurry up offense if need be or if wanted, that, you've got time to plan that.
Okay. Be a snap and a toss to Jones, and he's going to take the football around right end for a gain of about 4 yards. They don't look to be in any hurry here, Greg.
No.
As the Philo defense is extremely conservative here, as they should be. Both safeties playing about 13 to 15 yards off the line of scrimmage, so very conservative defense. Grice rolls out. That ball's picked off. Surprise, surprise. Cole Cash is on the scene.
Mr. Money in the Bank tonight, for sure.
My goodness. We don't give out players of the game, but if we did, this kid would be a shoe-in tonight.
Yeah.
Cole Cash has made his presence felt on both sides of the football. That's the second fumble he's came up with. He's made several good tackles, and he had a screenplay, which he ran for a big first down in the first quarter. So he's got his fingerprints all over this game.
He's everywhere he needs to be, and where you didn't think he was going to be, he shows up.
Let's see what Coach Lincecum wants to do with just 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So by my count, that's 2 turnovers for each team. Unless I'm missing one somewhere. Not the first half these coaches probably had in mind. Have to clean things up here in the second.
But also surprisingly low on that as well. Like, first game, opening game of the season, you have the jitters. You haven't really been in full. You have a scrimmage.
Yep.
But you're not really full on into it like you are here. So definitely, only 2 turnovers per team.
Mm-hmm.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. See Coach Lincecum just kind of not even part of the huddle right now. He's at this stage of his career, he really delegates roles, and he trusts Hunter Smith, his offensive coordinator, to handle this stuff. All these calls in crucial situations, and he puts the trust in his guys. And it's been a successful formula for Coach Lincecum. He's a standout player here at Philo, a 1996 grad, and a heck of a college player, and started his coaching career right here in 2010. And he's still here doing it. And I don't see any signs of him slowing up. He's not that old. He's a year younger than me, so he has plenty of
life left in that career.
Plenty of gas in that tank. He may end up getting to 200. You never know.
Oh, yeah. We come back to your alma mater. That always changes things for sure.
So the Electrics will come out. We're going to have one snap here. See what they elect to do. Going to send Griffin Harper in motion. Shotgun snap to Buchanan. Looking downfield, and he's just going to throw it to the turf, but he's going to have 2 more seconds. That play only took 6 seconds, so going to be one more snap.
One more time.
Staying on the play for the Bulldogs, number 3, Jordan Mike Noble.
Just overall, a great coaching staff here at Philo. They've had the same guys in place for many years, and that also helps when you don't have a lot of coaching turnover.
Well, we've seen that in the schools before, and you lose 1 or 2 coordinators, and then all of a sudden, it changes the whole dynamic.
So Audie Buchanan's going to kneel on it, and that'll be the final play here in the first half. Our score from Sam Hatfield Stadium after one half of play, the Philo Electrics 22, the Heath Bulldogs 15. We're going to break momentarily for the halftime, but we will be back with all your second half action. Don't go anywhere. from scrimmage, they threw an interception to linebacker for Philo, Chevy Bailey. Philo proceeded to go 3 and out and just punted the football away. So this is the second possession of the second half for the Heath Bulldogs. They are 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. That's going to be a Heath Bulldog timeout. As I bring my partner Greg Rhodes back in, I am Ted Snyder. Thank you so much for being patient and staying with us here tonight. And we do have a good football game here tonight. 22-15 is our score in favor of the Electrics. And we mentioned it's been kind of a melee of turnovers each way. Heath has turned it over 3 times total, twice in the first half, once here in the third quarter. The Electrics turned it over twice themselves in the first half. And while we have a moment here, I'll tell you how we got to this score, 22-15. Slade Sprankle opened up the scoring for the Electrics with a 4-yard TD plunge in the first quarter. That was followed by a 2-yard TD run by Cole Cash. 1 2-point conversion, 1 PAT made the score 15-0 in favor of Philo. And late in the first quarter, it was the electrifying running back Tristan Jones, for Heath, took a 51-yard pitch play and ran up to the end zone, makes the score 51-8. Tristan Jones also ran an 86-yard touchdown in the second quarter to tie the score. Slade Sprankle scored a second touchdown late in the second to give the Electrics the lead. Heath Bulldogs back on offense. Ethan Grice rolls out to his right and connects with a receiver in between the hash marks. And that player is Camden Stevens on the reception for the Heath Bulldogs, and that's a chain mover, Greg, and the Bulldogs are in business, trailing this game by 7.
It is. When they got the punt return right there, they ended up calling a timeout and then took that and then made that play right there. I don't know what they saw on the Philo Electric defensive side they didn't like, but it moved the chains on that play, so whatever they did, they adjusted appropriately.
Ethan Grice, shotgun formation. He's going to hand to Jones, and Jones running through an arm tackle. That was Chevy Bailey, who was being dragged by the significantly lighter Tristan Jones for an extra 3 to 4 yards. It's going to be a great gain on first down for Jones of 6 yards. 2nd and 4 coming up for Heath. And the Electrics were kind of given a gift there to begin the third quarter as Grice threw it right into the chest of Chevy Bailey, but the Electrics could not do anything with that possession, went 3 and out. And now turning the keys back over to their defense to bail them out once again are the Electrics. 2nd down, 4 for Heath, 41-yard line. Handoff is to Jones. Stacked up initially, but he is moving that pile. Wow, that's going to be a 6-yard gain. They had him stacked up.
Moving the pile, going to move the chains.
Sure is. Yeah, a pair of Electrics had him stacked up after about a 1-yard gain, but he just kept moving. This Heath team looks like a different football team here to open this third quarter.
For sure.
How motivated and aggressive they are.
And on the other side of that, when Philo got that interception, it seemed like that drive, they just could not get anything to fire at all to go 3 and out. Definitely two tails, two sides of that coin.
Yeah. Shotgun formation. Jones on the right hip of Grice. Grice is going to drop back. He's looking downfield. He's going to hit his outlet. It's just going to be a little dump-off play to Bodie Bishop. It's going to be a modest gain, about 4 yards on the play. We have an Electric down on the field, and that is Cole Cash. That's a player who has made an impact on both sides of the football here tonight.
He's been everywhere he probably shouldn't be, but he's been in the middle of everything. Just out of nowhere, he's there.
Yeah, he seems to be around the football, that's for sure. Looks to be another cramping issue, though, Greg. Really trying to stretch out that hamstring. And if you go in the locker room, you sit for 20 minutes and try to come out. You try to get loose again, but it's hard because you only have 2 or 3 minutes, and you do some stretching. But once your body sits down and tightens up, it's really, especially early in the season, it's hard to get your muscles stretched back out adequately again. It causes a lot of cramping. Hydration is the key because you obviously, when the weather's warmer, you're going to perspire much more, so you need that hydration.
It really does. And, opening weeks of Ohio football, high school football, it becomes a Gatorade commercial for sure.
Yeah. but the temperatures must not be excessive enough for them to take the mandatory hydration breaks tonight, because I haven't seen the official breaks for hydration as we normally see in the early season.
Nope, just during the timeouts this game.
So the Bulldogs come back out, 2nd and down and 6. They are inside the Electrics' territory at the 48-yard line. Tristan Jones in the backfield with quarterback Ethan Grice. 3 wide with a wingback on the left side of the formation. The wingback comes in motion. It's going to be a little pitch to the right side to Jones. He found a little crease. That's going to be a gain of 8 yards and another Bulldog first down.
So during the first half, they had worked him on the outside a little bit to get those long plays. Now they've got him on the inside running through that, and it's definitely working. Those 6, 7 yard, 5, 6, 7 yard runs, just like Philo was doing at the beginning of the game, to just keep moving those chains.
I have noticed that by far their most successful play has been the pitch to the right side. So they found something in that play that they really like, and they continue to exploit over and over again. Both of Jones's touchdown runs came on that pitch play to the right. Shotgun formation once again. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle to Jones, and running through arm tackles once again, finally brought down by Rusty Trout, along with a second Philo defender in there, and that was Adam Phillip.
Rusty Trout, number 15, Adam Phillip.
And Tristan Jones having those chains move again for another first down.
Yeah, we mentioned his touchdown runs covered a total 137 yards on those 2 carries alone.
In week 1, yes. And he had 1,155 yards last season, so he's definitely on par to get there again as of the first game.
That's for sure. He's definitely on his way to well over 200 rushing yards here tonight. May be there already. Be a little bit offset. Shotgun formation. And Grice is going to pitch to the left to Jones, and more space over there, and he's going to take this one into the end zone. You're right, Greg.
There was a great block right there that made that play successful.
Yeah, there were a couple great downfield blocks that really made that play possible, at least the final 10 yards of it. And that's not an easy block to make in the open field without holding. You got to give those Heath receivers out there blocking in space a lot of credit. That brings our score to 22-21. The Bulldogs could tie it up with the PAT.
And are we seeing a little bit of a different Heath Bulldog offense and a different Philo Electric defense right now starting the second half?
Certainly looks that way. The Bulldog offense looks like a completely different unit than we saw in the first half. Didn't see a single pre-snap penalty. They're going to go for 2 here. Grice is going to put the ball on the ground. They're going to call that dead, however. Yeah, he was hit, fumbled the ball. I think they're going to say a knee touchdown before that ball came out. But nevertheless,
that's a close one there.
Not necessary to go for 2. You're just down 1, going for the lead, and that point could prove crucial by the end of tonight.
We've seen that how many games last couple of seasons. We've seen that just that 1 point makes all the difference in the world. But on the flip side, it can it make and break.
Yep.
But that is definitely a different, aggressive Heath
there for sure. The holes Jones had to run through were ginormous, much bigger than he had to operate with in the first half.
Yeah.
No doubt some adjustments to be made on the defensive side of the ball for Philo. But Coach Linscomb looks calm, cool, and collected down there as always. And
like you said, trust in his offensive and defensive coaches.
Yes, he does.
Trust the system.
I know I mentioned Hunter Smith, the offensive coordinator, but I know Pat Henry and Greg Haberfield, they've both been with this staff for many, many years as well. So a lot of continuity and trust between these coaches, that's for sure. Heath will kick the ball off. 5:07 remaining here in the third quarter. That ball may go out of bounds, and it does. That's going to be a huge break for Philo, as that's going to bring the football all the way up to the 35-yard line. Good starting field position for Philo. We're not able to get anything going on the previous possession here in the third quarter, but still have a lead.
Ball goes to the 35-yard line, first and 10.
Let's see what Philo has on this drive right here to see if they can change the momentum that's happening right now, that what they had.
Sprankle, a little bit of room up the middle. Fights for an additional 3 yards. Give him 6 on the carry. 2nd down and 4 upcoming for Philo, and that's just what the doctor ordered. I think as long as Sprankle's able to gain 4, 5, 6 yards up the middle, it'd be hard to go anything but that until Heath can prove they can stop that.
Key to 6, 2nd down and 4.
KJ Phillip, Max Paul, the 2 receivers on the wide side of the field. Slade Sprankle on the right hip of Adi Buchanan. This is going to be a slant play, but it's behind the intended receiver, which was Max Paul. He had a step on his defender. Buchanan unable to deliver that football on target. Be a 3rd down and 4.
And we've talked about Philo, the coaches, the MVL, and you know the last time when they shared a portion of the MVL title was 2016. So it's been 10 years.
Yes.
Talked about the playoff game, you know, all that. So, you know, 10 years could be.
Here goes Sprankle into the open field. Will he be caught? One defender in pursuit and just gets a hold of his heels and trips him up. But Sprankle takes that ball all the way down. See where they mark it. Looks like to be about the 15-yard line. If that's the case, that's a 40-yard gainer for Slade Sprankle. It looks like we have a Heath Bulldog down.
After the tackle right there.
Yeah, he's down outside the field of play on the Heath sideline. See how they're going to proceed here. He's not on the field of play, but there they got him up. Undoubtedly have to come out of the game momentarily. Can't make out the number from here. That was a big-time play from Slade Sprankle. Great vision to cut that to the outside.
It looks like it's Tyler Marks that's going to go out for at least a play right there after that fall. Tackle.
And Marks is one of their key players.
He's been very active in this game for sure, yes.
Yeah, he's a senior. 6 feet, 160 pounds, starting wide out on offense.
And to catch Mr. Sprankle right there, he's got some speed to him too.
Yeah, he had to dive and just caught the back of his feet to trip him up. Getting a glimpse of Carter Crabtree down on the sideline for Philo. He's got the full-length leg brace on his left leg, so have to inquire after the game exactly what happened to him and when, if that's a football-related injury or that's a carryover from last school year. Because I was looking forward. He made some big plays offensively for them a year ago, especially as the year went along. He got better and better. Shotgun formation once again. The gives to Griffin Harper. He's fighting for extra yards, and he chews up about 4, give him 5.
Okay, the ball carrier.
They're actually going to mark him down at the 10-yard line. 2nd and 5 for the Philo Electrics. I like this formation he has with Harper and Sprankle in the backfield with Buchanan. You can give it to Harper or you can use Harper as a lead blocker.
Definitely a dangerous trifecta right there.
Now they're going to run behind Harper with Sprankle, and he found some room. He might have got there. Let's see. Just marked down before the goal line. But that's going to be a 1st down, so they're going to have 1st and goal from inside the 1-yard line. See if they want to go back to the Adi Buchanan sneak under center or not. They showed that play a couple times in the first half.
With mixed results, for sure.
Exactly, you're right.
Yep.
The first play they ran it was successful. The second play they tried, it was not. He does have Harper as well as Sprankle in the backfield with him once more, does Buchanan. The give is to Sprankle, and he's going to walk it in. Touchdown Electrics. That's going to extend the lead back out to 28-21. PAT pending. So more of those ebbs and flows, Greg, as Heath charged down the field, punched one in the end zone, but went for two. Got a little greedy. We're unable to tie the game. Philo got a little juice off that, drove down the field, extended the lead back to 7, potentially 8 here if Cohen Davis can knock this PAT through. Cohen Davis, just a freshman. So they're going to have the services of this kicker for 3 more years after tonight. Kick is up, and it is good. With the exception of the bad snap, every time they've got the football down for him, he's made the kick. Outstanding debut for the young freshman. The Electrics once again push the lead back to 8. Now it's Heath's time to respond, and it's always nice to be treated to a good game here on week 1. Sometimes these games you feel like they're going to be competitive, and one team runs away with it, but that's not the case tonight. And I had a feeling this was going to be closely contested, but I'm in the same camp with you. I thought it was going to be low. I didn't think we would have this many points in the entire game.
Yeah.
And we're already at 29-21.
I think we both agreed it's pretty close to 50-50 split. It can go either way, but definitely the scores have been, some with those breakaways, a few key turnovers, all those factors right there are just, it's still anybody's game. Scoreboard might tell you otherwise, but when you're watching the field, and the ground game from both teams it's really important, but it's really successful as well.
It really is. 2 completely different styles of running, but both are very effective. Sprankle, he really prefers to run in the A and B gaps in between the tackles. He loves the contact. Whereas it seems like they prefer getting Jones to the edge and letting him try to outrun the defense.
And the last drive, when they had him toward the center running through those gaps, he did really well there too. He was getting those 5 and 6 yards and moving those chains.
Cohen Davis to boot it away. Once again, another great kick. Boots it down to the 8-yard line. This ball's going to be returned. And more space for the Heath return unit. Bring it all the way back up to the 32. That's a 24-yard return. Let's see if fatigue either way will play a factor in this. A lot of two-way players in this game.
Very much so. And as much as you like to look at the last drive and go, oh, this is what happened the last drive, it's been a coin toss because they might come out the next drive and completely just not have it together, but then in the next drive, just dominate 80 yards.
The Bulldogs are going to come out and show a 4-wide formation. I mentioned prior to the game, this team really shows a lot of different formations. They really keep you on your toes. Slot receiver comes in motion. The hand's going to be handoff up the middle to Tristan Jones, and he's barreling down through the middle. He drug a pair of Electrics an additional 2 yards, give him 6 on the carry.
And like you said before, Heath lines them up and spreads them out, sideline to sideline, so you definitely have to play that right, or there's too many options to get burnt in the backfield.
They've lined up in as many as 4 wide. They've lined up in as few as 1 wide with 2 tight ends and a wing back. So like I said, they've shown every formation from the widest to the tightest. And it really is tough to defend because they will run any play out of any formation as well. Got a 3-wide set here for the Bulldogs. Wing back in motion. I think we're going to have pre-snap penalty here. Look like a little motion, which is what we got left side of the line. Looked like there were a couple guilty parties. And that's going to back the Bulldogs up 5 yards, so that's going to negate 5 of the 6 yards they just gained on first down. Turns 2nd and 4 into a 2nd and 9.
With 2:12 into the third, definitely the third quarter has moved pretty quick as opposed to the second quarter seemed to drag a little bit, where the first quarter was just blitzed through. The momentum definitely has been swinging.
Same formation, same motion from the wingback. Fake's going to be the pitch. He's going to roll back out to his right, and he's looking. He fires to an outlet, and that's number 1 once again, Bodie Bishop. He's been the preferred target for Ethan Grice when he rolls out to his right-hand side. It's kind of like his safety valve underneath. If he doesn't see anything he likes downfield, he's got Bishop running across the formation at about the 5-yard mark.
Yeah, at 6 foot tall, he has the reach for sure, and definitely have the hands for that.
This is a big third down right here, Greg. 3rd and 3 for Heath at their own 40-yard line, so not likely to be a fourth. He's going to pitch to Jones, and he's not going to make it. Not even close. He might have lost a half a yard. Looks like he slipped a little on the turf monster.
I think he might have done a little slipping right there as he turned that corner. Got a little hobble as he walks off the field, so he may have taken a dip on the knee.
However, the electric pursuit looked to be there this time.
Oh, it definitely was. I think they saw what was going to happen for sure.
So an excellent defensive stand by Philo, and that's going to give them a shot of adrenaline as they get the football back.
Good field territory as well in the 39.
And now no need to do anything except milk the clock and move the chains. And if you're Coach Lincecum, you got to love this position you're in. Your team has battled through some adversity and have responded each and every time. Whether it be turnovers or giving up a big play, they've responded. 2 backs in the backfield with Buchanan once again. The give's going to be to Sprankle. Sidesteps 1 defender and drags a 2nd defender another 2 yards. And that was number 77 for Heath. Landon Pack. And he is 340 pounds. And Slade Sprankle drug him 2 yards after contact.
And he's an aggressive, strong player. I've watched him all night long on the line, and he's no force to be reckoned with, but definitely he was just along for the ride on that one.
Yeah, that was something to see. You see Sprankle dragging a few defenders here and there, but not a 340-pound lineman. We do have a Bulldog down on the field.
You prep in summer for this certain thing, and then, hey, we're going somewhere else.
Yep.
And, it changes dynamics for sure.
Absolutely. The West Muskingum game, which was scheduled for tonight at Lakewood High School, was rescheduled for tomorrow afternoon at 12 noon. Same location, Lakewood High School. So anyone who wants to go out and catch a second game this weekend, go up and support the Tornadoes. I think they're going to be in for a resurgent year as well, 5-5 a year ago. But I think, like Philo, I think the Tornadoes are chomping at the bit to get back out there. We will see them a week from tonight down in Beverly.
Fort Fry.
Against the Fort Fry Cadets, a game in which the Cadets handled them easily on their home field a year ago in West Muskingum. Can the Tornadoes return the favor down at Beverly? That won't be easy. Well, we got a game to finish up here first, Greg.
We do in the third quarter. The sun goes down. The third quarter, it definitely went through pretty quick.
1:40 remaining here in the third period. 2nd down and 6 for the Electrics. Buchanan drops back. He's looking deep. He throws a rope. Overthrows his intended receiver by just a couple yards, and that was Rusty Trout out there running the vertical route. Maybe had a step. Pretty good coverage out there, Greg. That would have had to been a perfectly thrown ball to execute that. But in Buchanan's defense, I'd rather see him overthrow that by a couple yards than underthrow it by a couple yards. Only his player was going to get to that ball. Slade Sprankle, the lone setback behind Buchanan. 3-wide formation for the Electrics. Sometimes, you ever notice that?
Yes.
Whether he does it intentionally or he gets turned by contact, he doesn't lose any momentum.
No.
He can shuffle his feet sideways almost as quickly as he can run straight forward. It's uncanny.
It's an artistic ballet that he has going on in there for sure.
It really is.
And I will say, the resiliency, too, of both offenses, both defenses, when they come out of a bad drive, they have come out the next drive and performed like it didn't happen. Yep. Psychologically, they're definitely on par.
Give is to Sprankle once again. A little trouble with the exchange, but they got it. But that's going to be stood up for no gain. Bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Philo. Under a minute to play in the 3rd period.
Number 97, Cooper Mason.
Still see KJ Phillip down here on the sideline trying to stretch out. Came out of the game on the defensive possession and has yet to come back in. Looks like he's trying to stretch out a calf, maybe. Buchanan takes the snap. He's looking for a receiver and just overthrows Hunter Hoffer. He had him wide open down the seam.
Get a little excited right there when he was like, I think he had eyes on him and definitely was just wanting to get that bullet there.
Absolutely correct. He couldn't get that ball out of his hands fast enough. But unfortunately, just a little out of the reach of Hunter Hoffer. Officials stop play temporarily, but now they're going to whistle the ball back play. Play clock running down to 12, 11, 10, and Electric's using all of it right now, being very, very patient, but the game clock's not running until they snap the ball. Is to Buchanan. He's looking across the middle. Did he catch that football?
That was very low.
They're going to say he caught that ball.
He definitely caught it at 3 inches off the ground for sure. It was a low one.
That was Max Paul, and that may be one of the best catches we'll see all year long. It came right here in week 1. He pulled that off the turf. That wasn't 3 or 4 inches from the turf, and he was able to haul that.
And diving as well, yeah.
So a great play, great stabbing play by Max Paul to end the 3rd quarter of play, and the Electrics seize the momentum, Greg, as they take a 29-21 lead into the 4th quarter. We're going to break for the 3rd quarter break, and we will be right back with all your 4th quarter action right after this. And we're back. 4th quarter has begun. The Electrics up 29-21. Ted Snyder, Greg Rhodes have all the action here for you tonight. And we have a good one. The Electrics threatening once again as Slade Sprankle just ran it on 3rd down for another Electric 1st down. And that sets the Electrics up 1st and 10 inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. Threatening to go up 2 possessions. He might have got Buchanan nearly got another offsides right there. Nearly.
He's caused a few earlier in the first half.
Really good hard count he's shown here tonight. Created a couple of offside penalties. And the give is going to be to Griffin Harper. He's the up man. He's going to take it inside the 10. Great gain. 6 yards on the play for Harper. Let's see where they mark this. Maybe even 7. 2nd down and 3 inside the 10 for the Electrics.
2nd down and 3.
Electrics being very, very deliberate now, Greg.
Very much so.
Using every second they can.
Yep. Step up, do a little clap, try to get him the jump. Spend some time.
Snap to Buchanan. Give to Sprankle, and he's in the end zone from 7 yards out. his third of the night.
He never stops moving that artistic ballet as he goes through very, like I said, I want to call a little Barry Sanders from back in the day, you know, so that low center of gravity, he just drops his shoulders and he knows where he's going 3 steps ahead.
That makes it 35-21 in favor of the Electrics. PAT still to come from Cohen Davis. Snap is good. Kick is good. Did it sneak inside the upright? And it did, just barely.
Had a couple defenders coming in hot right there, too, on the left side.
And that extends the lead back to 15, 36-21. The Bulldogs may be running out of time here, Greg. 10.5 to play. It's probably now or never for the Bulldogs on this possession, unless they can come up with some lightning in a bottle.
And it seems like they came out in the second half with a little bit, trying to shake that bottle up a little bit and making it happen. So I think, yeah, if they're going to do it, they've got some momentum now to do it. Their offense has changed up a little bit where you have Tristan Jones run a little bit more on the inside than the outside. But if you turn one of those on, we've already seen, well, knocking on 200 yards for the night, you just never know.
Yep. Yeah, all 3 of their touchdowns, speaking of the Heath Bulldogs, have came via a big play. The first 2 touchdown runs were both big plays themselves, but the third score was set up by a big run from Jones. So the Electrics know all they have to do is limit Jones to not make big plays, and they're likely going to walk out of here victorious.
Which would be Coach Lincecum's 100th win here at Philo.
It would be, and it would be a big-time accomplishment. As I said, he's starting his 17th year here at Philo. And when you average it all out, he's averaged about 6.2 wins a season, which is pretty darn good when it's all said and done, when you average over 6 wins over the course of 16 seasons. Ball's on the ground. That's a live football. It's going to go out of bounds. And that's going to be a penalty, actually, on Philo, but it went out at the 35, and that's where the ball is going to remain, at the 35. Free kick out of bounds brings the ball to the 35, but it was a short kick anyway, so they're not really giving up any yardage. Now it's up to the defensive unit for Philo to put the seal in this game.
And like we said, it's been about 10 years since Philo's had that run with, shared the MVL.
Yep.
I mean, maybe.
That was 2016, they last won the MVL.
Yep.
The following year, 2017, was the last year they won a playoff game. And they actually went all the way to the regional finals that year, lost to a John Glenn team that was led by senior quarterback Justin Haycock, and they nearly pulled off the upset in the state semifinals against Clinton Massey, lost that game 28-21.
And next week, that tough road test, man, the first road test of the season against New Lex.
Yeah, that's
and definitely might be a pace setter for, starting the MVL run.
That's a matchup we did week 2 a year ago right here in this stadium, and New Lex just handled them from beginning to end. The final score was 37-20 in favor of New Lex, but I think New Lex even outplayed them by a wider margin than the score indicated. So Philo's probably got a lot of get back on their mind in that game as well.
And saying that, you look at the score tonight, 36-21, and you look at it and go 15-point game, but it's been a closer game than that.
It certainly
physicality, athletically.
Yep. Yeah. I think both teams are going to be upset that they committed so many turnovers. Heath turned the ball over 3 times, Philo twice. And
only a few punts the whole game. Like, it's not, it's been offensively, relatively successful venture as far as that goes, but giving ball over well within a good field advantage for yourself defensively.
Looks like we have we're going to move they're moving the line of scrimmage back to where the ball went out of bounds, which is where it should have been, right there at the 36-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ethan Grice in shotgun formation. He gives to Jones. Jones barrels up the middle for 5 yards. Flag on the play. We haven't seen a whole lot of flags either.
Really haven't, knock on wood, that they really haven't. The first game jitters of the season, you really haven't had that many.
And it's usually a lot of pre-snap penalties and a lot of holding penalties, and we haven't seen a whole lot of either. Heath has committed a couple of pre-snap offensive penalties, but I can't remember Philo false starting at all tonight. That penalty did go against Philo. That's going to move the ball up to the 46-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Grice takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to hit a screen out to the slot receiver, and he's going to find about 12 yards of space to get a first down.
Number 4, Ethan Grice, pass complete.
That was Camden Stevens on the reception for the Bulldogs. Nice play design and nice execution. The electric defense really converging on number 26, Jones, and flipped it out to the slot receiver where he had a nice matchup one-on-one.
Which this is that magic in the bottle. They need to be shaken up and getting out, with 9.5 left in the game, down by 15.
Stevens lined up in the right slot this time. This is going to be a pitch to the right to Jones, and he's going to weave his way through and get about 4 yards on the carry, maybe 5. I mean, good modest gains, but time is not your friend right now.
Not
if you're
right
Heath,
now.
Ticking down, 9 minutes, 25 seconds to play in the game, and they are 2 scores behind. Not only do they need points on this possession, they're going to need
defensively to stop them for sure.
They're going to need a lot of things to fall into place here for them, and they don't seem to be playing with any type of urgency at all. Pretty nonchalant, getting back to the line of scrimmage as Grice surveys the defense. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Jones. He's looking, tries to throw down the right seam. Well defended right there. Looked like Rusty Trout. No, it wasn't. It was 17, Max Paul once again. Max Paul having himself a great second half. Made a couple of outstanding defensive plays, and that circus catch he made on the previous offensive possession. Still, I can't wait to get another look at that later on our cameras, because that ball came so close to hitting the turf.
Yeah, he definitely did everything he could and did it exactly right, for sure. Right place, right time, had to reach.
3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. 3 wide, 2 to the boundary, 1 to the wide side of the formation. Grice is going to roll to his right. He's looking for a receiver. Let's see if that's complete or not. They say incomplete pass.
And I think this is as much air as we've seen all game as this drive right here as far as passes go. Get a little more aggressive in the air.
This will be a huge down right here.
4th down, 5.
Certainly not going to decide the game officially, but unofficially it's going to have a lot to do with the outcome of this game, this play right here.
They brought Christian Long back, 6'8", beast on the line defensively.
Grice takes the snap. He's looking out to the right. He finds a receiver. Oh, that's going to be close, Greg. That's going to come down to a spot.
Yeah.
And this is very close.
And it looks like there's 2 refs in 2 different spots.
Yes,
so.
it does.
Number 1, Bodie Bishop.
It's on the opposite side of the field from where we are, but we can still tell how close this is. See if they're going to bring the chains out, which they are.
Yep.
You could tell that was going to be close.
Yeah.
Well, from the way he fell. It looks from here like they have to get to the 31, and you can see the nose of that football is not touching the 31.
Yeah, from our angle it looks short, but the crowd's definitely giving their opinion too in this one. So they're
I mean, this
the home field is definitely letting them know.
There's a lot hanging on this. Philo celebrates as that's
right.
4th down stop for this defensive unit, the biggest play of the night for either side of the football. As a 4th down stop by this Philo defense, turns the ball back over to Adi Buchanan in the offense. And now Philo just needs to protect the football. Run some time off the clock, move the chains, but first and foremost, protect the rock.
Yep. And that's the most aggressive we've seen passing for Heath this whole game, and it just did not quite pay off for him enough to get there. And within a half a foot, right there to stop that drive.
They call it a game of inches for a reason.
100% true.
That's it. So 8 minutes, 38 seconds remain in the football game. Philo, 15-point lead and possession. They are certainly in the driver's seat here on their home turf on this opening Friday night. Pistol formation once again for the Electrics. He gives the sprinkle. He carries it right through the teeth of the Heath defense. Bounces off a couple of defenders, finally brought down after a 5-yard gain.
A dancing pinball through some of those lines sometimes, just bounce around, can't quite bring them down.
Bulldogs do have 2 timeouts left at their disposal. We'll see if and when they want to use those on defense. Philo in no hurry to snap this one. Still 17 seconds left on the play clock.
And this is the same momentum they started the game with just grinding it out and running that clock.
I see KJ Phillip back on the field. Nice to see him back out there. Gives the sprinkle once again, and he barrels through.
A little bit of issue.
Christian Long. A little bit of extracurricular activities between Christian Long and one of the Heath Bulldogs. No foul, no penalty. Either way. 3rd down and short for the Electrics. They're calling it 2, 3rd down and 2. It's more like 1.5. I would expect this ball to go to number 2 once again. Buchanan changes the play. Takes the snap. The give is to Sprinkle. Another Electric first down. He is tackled at the 46-yard line.
If you were a betting man, you won right there.
Yes, sir. That was a huge play for Philo. That gives them a fresh set of downs, and we are under 7 minutes to play in the ball game. So even if Philo is unable to get another first down, they're going to be able to bring this clock under 5 minutes, maybe down to 4.5, and that's if they don't pick up another first down. 2 backs in the backfield with Buchanan once again. Griffin Harper, the up back. Slade Sprinkle, the deep back. Looks like Griffin Harper's going to get a lot of offensive opportunities this year as well. The give this time is to Sprinkle, and he is loose into the open field. I don't think they're going to catch him, Greg.
No, I don't think so either.
10-5, touchdown, Slade Sprinkle. Touchdown number 4 on the night.
And it just like the gates opened up inside the line for him on that one and just ran right through it.
That one goes for 54 yards for Slade Sprinkle. And that may have been the final nail in the coffin. There's still 6 minutes to play, but that's an awful lot to overcome for the Heath Bulldogs. 3-possession game now, 42-21. This Electrics defense up to the challenge in the second half, much like a year ago at Heath. Took their offense a while to catch up. It was their defense that gave them an opportunity to win that a year ago, and the same can be said tonight. This defense has made some timely plays.
And even when some of those drives did not go their way at all after some runs, some touchdowns, it's never slowed them down or got into their head.
Nope. PAT up and good once again from Cohen Davis, and I think we're going to have roughing the kicker after the fact against Heath. We'll wait for the official indication here, but Davis was hit on the kicking leg on his follow-through. Yep, personal foul. Roughing the kicker, so that means that the Electrics are going to move this kickoff up 15 yards. Cohen Davis's kicks have been going to the 10. I would expect this one now to go into the end zone.
Or maybe just drop it right short.
Yep. Yeah, force them to return.
Force them to return it, yeah.
Great point there, Greg.
Keep that clock running.
So yeah, instead of kicking off at the 30, they're going to bring it up to the 45-yard line. It should be to kick off. But I think in high school there's multiple ways to accept that penalty. I think you can accept it in different ways, but most of the time it's you move the kickoff position up. Yeah, this ball should be kicked off from the 45.
That's where it looks like the referee is with the ball.
Yeah, that's a huge difference right there, being able to kick the ball off from your opponent's 45. Yeah, in all honesty, Davis could boot this out of the back of the end zone if he wanted. But
oh, yeah, it's going out on 60.
I agree with you, Greg. I agree. If there's a way he could just drop this right down about the 3 or 4 yard line and force them to make a play on it.
You know, I'm no kicker, but if you can pin them down, yeah, it would be one more nail in that coffin for sure.
And he's going to kick it low, and he's going to do just that.
Kicked it to the 5.
Ball's fielded at the 5, and the return man's going to bring it up to about the 19 or 18-yard line. That's going to be a long field for Heath. And down 22 points, you just wonder how much fight this Bulldog team has left in them.
I think they definitely still have the fight in them, that's for sure. Do they have the bite to get there in less than 6 minutes and be able to turn it around? And, you know, the clock definitely, like you said, it's not going to help them at all. You know, quick touchdown, quick turnover if you can get it. I mean, that's all the stars have to align.
Yep.
And it looks a little cloudy out. Bad dad joke, I know.
But what this lead has done, it's effectively negated their running game, which is their go-to, their bread and butter offensively. They're going to have to take some chances and air the football out. Grice drops back. He's looking, trying to escape some pressure coming from both sides. He's going to make something out of nothing. That looked like he was going to lose yardage, but he's able to get the ball up. See where they mark this out. This might be a first down. It is going to be a first down.
It looks like did he stop the clock? Did he get out of bounds? That's what I was trying to tell. I could not tell if he stopped the clock, got out of bounds.
And that was a really athletic play from Grice, able to escape 2 would-be tacklers and not only escape but make a first down out of it.
The best options out of that play for sure. And the last drive that they went more into the air did not pan out very well for him at all. This, you know, could have been the best out of all options.
And I don't know much about Grice. The few things I saw about him preseason was he's a good runner, an adequate runner, and a good complement to Jones, but we haven't really seen him as a runner tonight. I think the gameplay's kind of dictated the style that they're forced to play tonight. All right, now we're ready for play. 5:40 remaining in the game. Ethan Grice takes the snap. Runs into his running back, fumbles the ball, but Jones able to fall on that ball. A little miscommunication between Grice and Jones.
Yeah, and Jones, we have a little bit of words. Some laundry back on the field.
Yeah, let's see who this is on. They're pointing at the Heath direction.
But Jones he had his eyes on it, so he was able to jump on it pretty quick and save that play.
And they are sending a player off the field. Mandatory substitution.
Hunter Kindred is heading off.
Yeah, that's going to be a personal foul against Heath and a personal foul against Philo, offsetting penalties. Just exchanging pleasantries down there in the scrum, Greg.
Yep.
I'm sure it was all
just
friendly.
Introductions, just some introductions they haven't made tonight.
Frustration boils over when you're on the losing end of this type of game, a game in which you feel like you've been competitive in. Yet you look at the scoreboard and you're down 22. Nearly a circus catch made by Cole Spicer. He threw that ball into double coverage and nearly threaded the needle.
He definitely had his hands on it. But, yeah, double coverage does not help that catch.
Yeah, over-under coverage and still almost completed the pass. A fearless throw, but you have to take chances at this point.
4th down and 15.
So 4th and 15. Most likely the last gasp for Heath. Back to a 4-wide formation. You got to be careful of the short pass and running after the catch here if you're Philo. You can't assume they're going to throw it to the sticks. Grice drops back, though. He's looking deep. Buys some time, but he's going to run out of time. Throws it into the middle of the field where it is incomplete. The Philo pass rush forced that throw a little prematurely. He really didn't want to throw it, but had no choice there, Greg.
Yeah. Yeah, he was being pretty much ran out of bounds, ran out of town, if you will.
Yep. Another great defensive stand by the Electrics when they needed it the most.
And minus a few drives that their defense didn't look as sharp as it has, they've been consistently aggressive and strong and physical all night long with very little errors, very little penalties, and just consistent. And we laugh about being week one, about where you do make your mistakes. You do have, you know, some glitches in the matrix. They haven't made those tonight. Either team.
First down and 10 for the Electrics. Buchanan turns, hands to Sprankle. A lot of running room.
Well,
there goes Sprankle again. Is this going to be number 5? And
yes,
it is. The Electrics now just pouring salt in the wound, my friend. Touchdown number 5 on the night for Mr. Slade Sprankle. And I know Logan Russell at Sheridan and Levi Wade at Tri-Valley get most of the publicity, but tell you what, this guy right here.
There's a star right here
this
for
guy,
sure.
Number 2 in the Philo jersey, is a darn good running back. He's got all the skills needed to be a great runner in this league. Speed, agility, vision, toughness, he has it all.
You know, I think if week one shows anything here, you know, depending on how New Lex goes next week for sure, you know, the MVL is just right there at their feet, you know, and just if they go out there and play consistently and do what they're doing like this game.
Yeah. I really think this could be a super competitive year for the MVL, especially the big school division. Typically there's a clear-cut favorite, but I'm not sure that's the case this year. I think Sheridan Tri-Valley will obviously be the favorites until someone proves otherwise, but I think this Philo team will surprise people, and I think people are predicting a down year for John Glenn. I'm not on that train. I think they're going to be okay. I think the big school division is going to be more competitive this year than it has in maybe a decade. Pretty much since its inception. More dead ball fouls here, Greg. I think offsetting once again.
Yeah. Just some more meet and greets. And I think we will see a very tough league. I think the MVL is going to show very tough this season. I think it's going to be, I might go on to, given it's week one, but I might say that there's going to be maybe no clear-cut dominant maybe for a bit.
Yep. I know there's some darn good running backs. I mentioned Levi Wade, Logan Russell. They're two of the best. But this guy, Slade Sprankle, as well as Colton Matthias down in New Lexington, we're gonna have a lot of great running backs to cover in the MVL this year, and it should be a lot of fun.
Snake Frankel set a new single-game rushing record. The old one was 323 yards. Slade set a new one.
They just announced over the loudspeaker, Slade Sprinkle just set a Philo single-game rushing record.
323 yards.
323 rushing yards. And let's not forget 5 touchdowns.
That's true.
I mean,
and we talk about we're talking about Tristan Jones, and then we just kind of Sprinkle was just kind of running and running and running. We just didn't really kind of pay attention to the math on that one.
we covered Philo several times a year ago, and Sprinkle was a guy that you could see this coming as a senior because he was really good as a junior, but. Like I said, Jack Lincecum was such a factor in the run game. Sprinkle didn't get the bulk of the carries. Yeah. This year, he is the guy. He's going to get as many carries as he can handle.
And I think they do have a strong quarterback, a strong leader here too. After the one run where he took the hit at the sideline right there, he got up, went back, and just keeps leading the team very strong. And I think it's going to be a good succession. And I think I hope I'm not wrong, but, it's one of those things. You never know, right? Any given Friday.
You don't. If we all had a crystal ball, there'd be no reason to come to these games. It's just nice to be back in a football stadium. Davis is going to kick this one on the ground, fielded by one of the up men at the 40, and he's going to weave and take it all the way down to the Philo 42-yard line. Heath not giving up just yet. I think the outcome's not in question. Only the final score is in question at this point.
I like that. I mean, I think that's where they need to be is fight to the end, and
don't make no mistake about it. This Heath team's going to win a lot of games this year, and as I mentioned, I think they're going to be a 7 or 8 win team when it's all said or done. They're probably going to be in the neighborhood of hosting a first-round playoff game, but this Division IV Region 15 is very interesting this year. I believe the region still goes through Indian Valley. I know they graduated Mr. Football Grady Kinsey, but they still return a lot of players, and I think the Region 15 will still have to go through Indian Valley. But New Lex, if they're going to do it, I think this may be the year, or these Electrics, to break through in Region 15. They got some different players in now for Heath. Some backups on the field. That was Camden Sunkel carrying the ball for Heath. He's a sophomore, his first carry of the night. So the Bulldogs and Coach Tim Ward have waved the white flag.
And I'd say, if this becomes a yearly a good non-conference rivalry game. That's with a great story that started it all, and to keep it going. And that's the great thing about football there, especially if you do it opening week and have a good time doing it.
Carry once again by Sprunkle, not to be confused with Sprankle. This is Sprunkle.
Number 27, Camden Sunkel, ball carrier.
Modest gain of 2 on that carry.
Starts Electric from 24, Colton Price. Number 64, Peyton McKinney.
You guys know.
Header down,
100 wins. Thank you.
Now roll out to his right is the backup QB, and look to throw it down the field and completes it. Tanner Rock, the young sophomore, is the backup quarterback who just completed that pass downfield. The young sophomore with nothing to lose.
That's only going to help your careers, as a sophomore for sure.
Absolutely. It was mop-up duties, which we saw Audie Buchanan last year, but there was a stretch of games in the middle of the year, 2 or 3 games, that Lincecum was banged up, and he would come out of games and return and come out. So Audie Buchanan was asked to play some meaningful snaps a year ago. So as I mentioned, this is not completely brand new to him. And great tackle in the backfield. by the electric defender, and that's Colton Price. 190-pound junior. And that's a big loss on first down, a loss of 8. 2nd and 18 now for the Bulldogs. Just over 2 minutes remain. I think it's safe to say right now, Greg, Coach Dirk Lincecum is going to get win number 100. I didn't want to say it prematurely.
No, not at all. Not jinx anything, but I think at this point,
nearly.
That was a good pass.
That was an excellent pass. The receiver turned inside, and the ball was delivered to the outside shoulder. Tried to make the adjustment, but wasn't able to do it. Yeah, that ball, we had a great view of that. That ball was on a rope, right on target.
He definitely did not want to jinx the coach's win for sure, and jinx the number 100.
I couldn't be happier for Coach Lincecum. He's a great football coach, but he's even a better person. I have the privilege of knowing him personally. And as good a coach he is, he's even a better person. He truly cares about every single kid he's ever coached in these 17 years, and that's not just lip service. I've had the opportunity over the past few years to speak with a lot of his former players over the past decade, and the first thing they ask me, because they know what I do, is, how's Coach L doing? They always want to know, how's this? Tell him I said hi. And this, it's just, his players have such a respect and admiration for him.
Correction and coach electrics number 25, Carter Bowers.
And that kind of coaching and leadership, and that just passes on, to the next class and next class, and that passes on as they become adults and if they're coaches or otherwise as well.
Quarterback's going to keep this one. Gets down inside the 20, clear down to the 16, but that was on 4th and 17, not nearly enough yards for first down yardage. That's going to turn it over on downs to Philo.
There is some laundry on the field again, but I don't know if this might be another offsetting meet and greet.
Yes, the flag's right at where that scrum was.
Yeah.
So you're probably right, most likely. A lot of words probably being exchanged down there. But possession will be turned over to the Electrics in 1:38. See if Coach Lincecum elects to take a couple knees, or he wants to get his backups a couple reps. I don't have a problem with coaches running reps with their backups when the score's like this, but I also don't have a problem with them taking a knee either. Yeah. I know a lot of people don't like them running plays when the score's like this, but it's a good opportunity for backups to get varsity reps.
I think so.
I
really agree. I think that's an acceptable way of,
you're not running your starters out there.
Exactly.
But it looks like it's going to be a kneel-down situation because Sprankle and Cole Cash are in the backfield. I think this is going to be 3 Audie Buchanan kneel-downs.
Everybody up, give a big round of applause to Coach L for his 100th win.
They just announced over the loudspeaker. It really
it was, tooth and nail for most of the game. And then second half came out. Heath come out offensively way more aggressive than they were in the first half, and you're like, okay, here it goes. And so
yeah, their first couple possessions of the third quarter, they looked very determined to get back in the game, but it just went off the rails. And you got to give the credit to the Philo defensive unit for putting the clamps down.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it from Philo as the final kneel down by Audie Buchanan is complete. The final score from Sam Hatfield Stadium here in week 1 is Philo 50, Heath 21. We're going to take one short break, but we'll be right back to give you a final wrap on the game here tonight. Not 4, but
But
5 touchdowns to go along with a school record 323 rushing yards. Your thoughts on his performance tonight?
you couldn't stop him. He was a artistic ballerina through the slot every time. Like he